Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Business. It is Wednesday, and I am here to talk about a topic today that affects a lot of entrepreneurs. In fact, it affects people all around, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, whether you are a stay-at-home parent. This is a topic that flows through all different types of people, and it is the topic of burnout. How to forego the burnout, how to recognize when you're on the verge of burning out. Why do we burn out? Well, let's break all of that down. When you burn out, so let's just talk about what that is. Burning out means that you get to a point where you can no longer carry on with what it is that you were wanting to do. You get to a breaking point where you're just utterly exhausted. You're no longer doing anything productive, and you get to that breaking point. The reason why we get to that burnt out stage, well, there's a number of different reasons, and it's different for everybody, but some of the reasons are because we are so ambitious. We have a drive to succeed, and we want to get something done, or we want to get towards that accomplishment that we're working on. We push ourselves harder and harder and harder, right? Because we want to get there. We want to achieve whatever it is that we're working on. But while we're doing that, we tend to neglect our personal needs and our self-care. So we don't eat properly. We aren't sleeping properly. We are not giving ourselves enough time from one appointment to the next to be able to take some breathing room for preparation for what's to come. We take on too much in too short of a period of time. Remember, we only have a certain span of time in any given day. That's 24 hours minus your sleep, minus your food preparation, minus your travel, and that's the window we have to work within, okay? It's not realistic to go for all of those extra hours that we have in a day. That will eventually lead to burnout. So we take on too much in too short of a period of time. And then we end up feeling a loss of control, like life is happening to us instead of for us. Like we don't have the control over our time. Like we don't have time to do things like eat or sleep because there's just so much on the go, and all of the pressures come at us all at once. And because we're so busy being busy, whatever that looks like, we cut out anything that really doesn't fit with moving forward. So that could be time with family, that can be time with friends, that can be like that self-care to replenish your batteries. We cut all of those things out because we deem them as unimportant for that moment, because we're so laser focused on what it is that we need to do. Now, if this sounds like something that you've been doing, I want you to stop right now, because eventually you will get to that state where you can't take it anymore and you will burn out. And really, that is self-defeating behavior. It is an incredibly counterproductive way to be, especially as an entrepreneur. If you are an employee, for example, it's a little bit different. If you're a stay-at-home parent, for example, it's a little bit different. As an entrepreneur, you're probably the owner of your business. And so sometimes that might be a solopreneur, sometimes you have a team. But if you let the ball drop as the owner of your company, oh boy, that could have some really negative consequences. So the question becomes, how do we manage to get everything that we need to get done without burning out? So before I get to the answer to that question, I want to talk about some signs of what it looks like when you get to that state, when you're at that burnt out state. And I've been there before many times over the past nearly 12 years of being an entrepreneur. I definitely consciously focus on not getting to that state for many, many years now, because I know that I'm really doing myself a disservice, and I'm really doing my business and those who work around me a disservice by allowing myself to get to that state. Like I said, totally counterproductive. So some signs of burnout include feeling a sense of failure and self-doubt, feeling helpless or like you're trapped, or that, everyone's against you, or that you feel completely defeated. You feel really isolated, like you're completely alone in the world, like nobody understands the pressures that are, in front of you. that you're in this alone. You'll have a loss of motivation. You'll be increasingly negative. If you've ever been around somebody who's on the verge of burnout, you know that it is not a great place to be just by experiencing how they're coming off. So if you are feeling that way, you're probably lashing out at people. You're really negative. It seems like everything is against you and you're against everything. You feel a sense of decreased accomplishment, decreased satisfaction. You're utterly exhausted, right? You need to sleep a lot because you've gone so long in this state that it doesn't matter how much sleep you get. You need to keep sleeping. You're just tired. You just need to lay around and do nothing to get that energy back, to get that motivation back. You get really irritable and you get sick a lot. When you run your body to that state, your immune system takes a huge toll and you'll find yourself getting sick a lot more easily because it's just how it goes, like if you keep going and you're not replenishing your batteries, you're not doing the things that you need to do, like eating well and sleeping well and taking your vitamins and taking that time out, then your body will suffer. And so whether or not you make a decision to take a break, your body will force you to through illness. I've been there many times as well. It is not a fun place to be. So it's better off to control what that rest, what that rejuvenation looks like before your body says, hold on a second, you're going too fast, you need to slow down, and this is what I'm doing about it. It's better for your mind to take control than your body in that respect. So what are some things that we can do to forego the burnout, which is the topic of today's discussion? Well, first and foremost, we can take care of ourselves. We can recognize that we are not superhuman people, that we have needs, that we need to nourish ourselves, that we need to have adequate rest, that we need to prioritize our self-care. So that means eating, not skipping meals. That means eating healthy, not just resorting to takeout. So if you have to go somewhere for takeout, try to choose healthier alternatives as opposed to, burgers and fries every day. Things like smoothies or wraps or salads or something that has some nutrients in it to give you that energy you really need in order to move forward, like that real energy. You can exercise. Exercise releases endorphins. That is a scientific fact. Endorphins are these little things inside our body that tell us to feel good and feel motivated and energized. And so exercise naturally does that for us. So we can prioritize exercise. And when I say prioritize exercise, I'm not talking about you need to take an hour out of every day and focus on exercise. Hey, you know what? Start small. 10 to 15 minutes a day is better than nothing. So just do something, okay? We need to make sure we're getting that sleep. So however much sleep you need in a day, or in a night, I guess, to feel like you're on top of your game for the following day, make sure you are getting that sleep. Don't cut out hours of your sleep to get more work done, because what ends up happening is that if you do that, the quality of your work suffers anyways. So you might as well just get the sleep and then do quality work, because if you're not doing quality work, well, then your business is going to suffer too, because people won't want to hire you or work with you. You want to delegate some of the tasks that you have to others. If you are not in a position where you have support staff that can assist you, then you can delegate things like the house cleaning or the grocery shopping. You can do the click and connect grocery delivery or pick it up at the curb. Take 15 minutes to order it online instead of an hour to go and pick it up yourself in the store. There's lots of different things that you can delegate. Figure out what that looks like for you, and don't try to do it all, okay? Ask for help when you need it. Learn to say no. This is a big one for entrepreneurs. A big one for me too. It's something I've actually had to focus on over the years. And sometimes I still struggle with it because I am a bit of a people pleaser, but I know that if I'm saying yes to something, then I'm saying no to something else that I might feel is more important for me. So be cognizant about what you're saying yes to and say no to things that really aren't, for you in the first place. And finally, set some clear expectations to those that you're working on, what you can realistically accomplish by when. Just because you say yes to something doesn't mean you need to say yes right now. You can say, yes, I can handle that for you, but here's what my workload looks like, and here's what I can take on. Here's my realistic expectation of when I can do this. And don't take on too much with tight deadlines all at the same time. You want to pace yourself and schedule your calendar realistically. One time, many years ago, I was driving down Main Street of my community, and I can remember I was running late for a meeting. I am a very punctual person. I really don't like being late for anything. And I was driving along and probably speeding. I hadn't eaten that day. I was feeling really run down, and I was getting anxiety because I was late for my next appointment, or I was trying to get there. And I just remember thinking, now this, I should say that this is earlier on in my career of being an entrepreneur. I think I was probably running 3 businesses or so at the time. And what I was doing was just really not giving myself enough time to get from one place to the other. And so I was setting myself up for failure by doing that, and then skipping meals. And then I was getting sick, and it just snowballed from there. And I can remember thinking to myself, why did I do this to myself? This makes no sense. I am the only person who has control over my time and my energy and what I choose to use my time and energy towards. Why did I not leave myself enough time from one meeting to another, to the point that I have to now rush and feel this anxiety and not eat properly and whatever. So anyways, that is just, a good summary of how to forego the burnout. If you're feeling burnt out, I highly suggest that you take a step back and you analyze your situation and figure out some of those strategies that you can implement into your life and your business, because I'm telling you, life is too short to just be work all the time. I'm a hustler myself. I get a lot of stuff done, but I know that when I'm getting to that point where I'm feeling irritable, or I'm just really tired, or I'm starting to get sick, it's probably because I'm going too fast in too short of a period of time. So make sure that you're taking the time out for yourself to replenish your batteries. I'm doing so this weekend. I'm on my way to a weekend retreat in the mountains, a painting retreat I'm really looking forward to. And that's just my little breakaway, so that way I can push forward when I get back and feel in a great space to do so. All right, folks, I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk soon.